没事，我看看。
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವ. ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾನು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಗ್ತೇನೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining. I think we have quite a few folks. We can get started. So let me paste the agenda. Changrong, so our first topic today is on SRV6. Changrong, do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Okay, no problem.
Uh,
Hi everyone, I'm Changyong from Microsoft. Recently we are working on a project related to segment routing over IPv6. And one of the requirements for our use case is that we need to be able to control the behavior when we do decapsulation for those SRv6 packets. So usually when people do decapsulation for SRv6 packets, they use DT6, DT46, or DT4 actions. However, right now, because of all kinds of restrictions, we may use just UN behavior together with the USD endpoint flavor to do the decapsulation. And in order to control the decapsulation behavior in terms of whether we should copy some fields in the outer IPv6 headers into the inner IPv6 headers like DSCP field, we need to attach a tunnel object ID to the MyState entries. And I think this entries was already there, just that in the very only list previously only allow this tunnel object to be associated with DT class behaviors. So right now we want to extend it to be able to handle the UN behaviors with the USD or any other hybrid flavors that contains USD. The use cases. Yeah, that was our primary change. Do you have any comment?
Hey Chang, this is Ahmed from Cisco. So many thanks for this PR. I just echo what you presented here. So basically, maybe to give a bit of context to this change. So in SRv6, you can decapsulate the packet using what is called here the end.dt behavior, but there is one flavor that you can have for the endpoint behavior to do the decapsulation, which is called USD. And I think here in this PR, Chang is extending all of the decapsulation attributes that you have for the NDT, basically to the case where you have an endpoint with that USD behavior.
Yeah, thanks for the explanation. Yeah, the USD stands for ultimate segment decapsulation. So it means that like when a UN segment reach the end of the segment stack, the node will remove the outer IPv6 and segment header.
And to add a bit more, Chang, this is already defined in the SRv6 RFC 8986 in section 4.16 that discuss the flavors. This is already a standard behavior that is defined there.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Anyone has any comments or anything on this PR? Thanks, Changrong, Ahmed. I think if no other comments, then we could probably move on to our next topic.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much. Our next topic is on occupancy and watermark counters in cells. Marian, do you want to go ahead and present?
Hi, yes, in a second, trying to open the pull request. Yeah, so by the way, I will refer to another pull request that was merged in December, just to provide a context why we are doing this. So I'll start with a different pull request just to remind everyone. Can you see the share?
Yes.
Okay, good. So recently there was a pull request pushed with the proposal for extending time for streaming telemetry. There is a diagram explaining some basic concepts of what we intend to do. So we intend to implement telemetry at a high frequency with with as much efficiency as possible. So generally, it looks like that. So I think the most important part is on the left side where you have ASIC actually writing data to DMA ring of the kernel, which in turn is sending all of the telemetry data over the Netlink module to the consumer over Netlink socket. So the thing that is happening here is that the left side over here, where the ASIC firmware is writing counter data into kernel's DMA ring, it is writing this data in a raw format, meaning in a type that that is convenient for ASIC to count. And that brings us to my pull request, which is some of these counters are defined in SAI in a different with a different type than what it is initially in the how they are initially stored in the ASIC. So, for example, all of the counters that count, well, usually occupancy watermark counters that are related to different aspects of the shared buffer. On our ASICs, they are stored in the units of cells, because that's how the packets are stored. Packets are stored not byte by byte, but cell by cell. So there is enough cell allocated to fit a packet. So it isn't really the same unit, and for ASIC to be precise, it reports its values in cells. So what we want to do is, since this is quite a repetitive process over here, just reporting this data in large numbers, you can imagine for all of the ports, all the queues, all the PGs, and so on and so forth, you need to read the occupancy, you need to read the watermarks, and do it at high frequency. So to relieve the kernel module that needs to write all the data into the Netlink socket, to relieve it from the need to do any calculations and any changes, we want to send data over as is. And that's why we want to introduce basically the same counters, just in different units. So, for example, we already have these counters available. They are named the same way. We have, for instance, ingress PG stat current occupancy and watermark, just in bytes. So what I did, I duplicated the counters and provided a different unit in cells in both cases. And same goes for queue stats and so on. By the way, the list was just an initial list. It will be extended with a few more counters, but in a similar manner, as Riff has commented below already. And there is one more attribute which allows an application to query what is the buffer cell size, so that the buffer cell size can be attached to the report for post-processing. So you don't need to do it online. You can store it essentially if you stream the data 24/7, you can just store it in cells units, but then whenever, let's say there is an issue at 10 p.m. that some drops were happening, we can just take that snapshot of reports and apply the calculation only on them, which will be more efficient. so that's the intention of this proposal, and of course, it's not a mandatory counter, so it is just another option. So what we intend to do is for application to query if these ones are supported by SCI capability, then use them. If not, try to use the byte counters in any order. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, so that's the purpose of this proposal.
Very quick question. So if the underlying hardware does not support cells, so will this be counting bytes or packets or none?
Bytes. Yeah, bytes.
Okay. So the cells will be same as byte count if the underlying hardware is not supporting cells?
Yeah. So bytes are right now what we have, and what we did up till now is translate cells into bytes in the SCI adapter. But since we want to be faster and actually not even go to SCI adapter, just stream from Netlink socket, we'll return raw data. But right now, and that was considered the default, it was those same stat types in bytes.
Okay. Also, as Riff mentioned, there are few missing. I've also identified few more based on different files. So I'll paste that into the PR, and maybe we can add those as well.
Yeah. I plan to update them today. I also went over all of those. Yeah, there is a few missing. This was the initial list based on what we were just using, so it's incomplete.
Marian, one question. So generally these counters, watermark counter specifically, we do clear on read from the application. What happens when like if they don't go via SCI adapter, or still how does clear on read work in such case?
Oh, yeah. So going back to that proposal, so we're talking about streaming telemetry where it is going out via Netlink socket. So again, in this proposal, there is a stat read mode attribute. I don't remember. Let me try to find it. But there is the same mode that you can define. Let's see. You can define basically to tell if you want to do, here. So a counter subscription attribute stats mode. So you can, for each counter that you subscribe, you can define mode read or read and clear when you subscribe to that counter in streaming telemetry.
Okay, but I was trying to in this model, because everything is you are bypassing the SCI adapter, right? It's via kernel. Like the clear on read will happen where?
Yeah, right. So the way the SCI spec defines read and clear is that you actually clear it in ASIC. So that's the behavior.
Okay, so if you want to do clear operation, you will do a Netlink socket message towards the ASIC.
No. On every read, it clears automatically. You don't need to send a specific message whenever you read. Just like SCI API, when you call get stats, it will clear them afterwards.
Oh, because I remember currently for read on clear, we first do get, and then there's another SCI API called clear. So we call clear API also. It's not that's not the case here.
Oh, hang on. We have API that does that atomically.
Okay, because SCI implementation, if I see a syncd implementation for clear on read, we do a get and then we call a clear. There's a SCI API underscore clear. For every counter, there's a clear function.
Let me see. So that's why there is a mode read and clear to do it atomically, but I thought we even have that in let me check, maybe you're right. So for example,
Abhishek, are you doing it if the counter is clear on read from the hardware?
Okay, yeah, here. So what you need to use in the regular SCI stats is use the stats extended function. it has a parameter with mode. So you don't need to call clear port stats for those IDs. What you need to do is just use this function that is atomic, and it clears in place when you read. Just provide the mode read and clear.
Okay. Okay. Okay, maybe we are not using right now, but okay, maybe going forward we can use this. Yeah.
Mariam, is this the only set of counters we are moving to cells, or we have more like types of counters as a part of this project?
There's more stat IDs, yeah. So there is a few that Ref put in comments. So that there is a few more. I will update.
I was talking about, like, apart from occupancy and watermark types, do we have other types? Like,
so I can speak only about our architecture. So it's only what's related to shared buffer accounting. And in our case, it's just, yeah, occupancy, like a specific piece of memory allocated, how much is occupied, and what is the watermark value. That's what we have.
One more question I had. Do we have any psi attribute that says like we are in this DMable mode? Because not every ASIC can support this DMA. Is there a capability which says the stats are being DMA'd from ASIC to directly to CPU memory, or it's everything is internal to the vendor?
I don't know if we have a specific attribute, so probably I'll need to ask Riff, who was working on this pull request, if how they defined capability query. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Hey, Marian, you will be answering Riff or Gohan's comments?
Yeah, so as I said, I need to add a few more counters to this pull request that are also in cells. Yeah. So I'll do it today.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments on this?
Who else need to approve this? Probably someone from Broadcom or any ASIC vendor here would like to review or approve this.
I just have a general question, ignorant question. When you make a change like this, does it include the tests?
No.
Go ahead.
So we have PTF tests, but they are added separately. I don't think we ever included tests together with the API proposals.
Okay. Maybe that moving forward, that might be an idea to kind of bundle the change request, make sure it has the change, and then the proposed, and then also the test to verify it.
I'll need to ask our developers, because again, just speaking for myself, we make a proposal before we start implementing things. So that would be a different process that we would need to adopt to actually do the implementation and have a test available.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think you could use the same approach. So when you make this proposal, it's kind of a pseudocode, high level, whatever you want to call it. You could also define the testing at that same level at this point, right? You could say that conceptually you could verify this point and this counter and this point and when this event happens, this should increment whatever, and then you don't have to write the whole test at this point, but verifying I think is a good best practice for us to get into and to kind of avoid creating any unintended technical debt down the road.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So yeah, we could probably take that up as a separate discussion since that kind of impacts most peers, right? So okay, if no other comments on this PR, I think like anybody wants to bring up any other topic for the rest of the time?
Hey, this is James from the OCP. I just have a quick PSA, I guess you could say. I was on another call and they asked me to mention it to you guys because this networking audience may find it interesting to join the Open Systems for AI call that happens once a month, specifically in February, because we have the Ultra Ethernet Consortium, the UEC folks coming to present. So if you're at all interested in AI networking, the next call would be good. If you're not familiar with where to find it, I'll drop a link in the chat right now, but you can just go to opencompute.org/AI for short, and it lands on that strategic initiative and your calendar is there. That's all from me. Somebody else can
Great.
chime in
Yeah,
if they
thanks,
have things
James.
to bring up. Of course.
Okay, if no other topic, then I think we can give everyone 30 minutes back. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.